thinking about moving to Utah, you've probably heard about the snow, the skiing, the great mountains. But this past winter, it threw a lot of people off because depending on where you were, it either felt like winter barely showed up or like nothing even changed at all. Hi, I'm Kelsey June Earl with Home Search by Kelsey June. And if you're relocating here, comment relocation down below and I'll send you a link to my relocation guide. And honestly, whether you already live here or you're thinking about moving here, I'd love to help you. I do have time for you, so feel free to reach out or to give me a call. So let me break this down in a way that actually matters if you're buying, selling, or relocating here. Because Utah doesn't have one type of winter. It has layers, and where you live completely changes your experience. And this is one of the biggest things I walk people through when they're relocating. Because what you picture in your head about Utah weather is usually not what you experience day to day, depending on the area that you choose to move to. Most people moving here picture snow everywhere. That's not how it works. In the valleys, Salt Lake, Utah County, winter can be hit or miss. Some years you get solid snow. Other years it's cold, kind of gray, and honestly, pretty dry. But go 20 to 30 minutes up into the mountains and you'll get a completely different world. That's where you get the heavy snow. That's why Utah is known for skiing. And this matters more than people realize because that mountain snow is what feeds the entire water system here. It's not just about how it looks outside your house. It affects reservoirs, long-term water supply, and even how the state plans for growth here. Now, here's what made 2026 a weird winter. We didn't lose storms, we lost cold. And that changes everything because when temperatures shift just enough, snow turns into rain. And that completely changes how winters feel. And it impacts everything long term. Salt Lake City just recorded its warmest winter ever. And the snow basically is gone. December, almost nothing. January, barely anything. And February was still way below normal. So if you were living in the valley, you probably didn't shovel much snow at all. Honestly, it felt closer to an early spring than a real winter. And for a lot of buyers relocating here, that actually sounds pretty appealing. Less snow to deal with, easier commutes, fewer disruptions, but at the same time, it's not what most people expect when they think of Utah winters. But then you go up into the mountains and skiing was still happening, resorts were still open, there was still snow, just not in the same way as a typical year. More dense, more dependent on elevation, more variable depending on where you were. So now you've got this split. Dry neighborhoods down low, snow-covered peaks high up, and this is actually very normal for Utah. This year just made the difference a lot more obvious. Here's where this actually matters if you own a home or plan to. Utah runs on snowpack. That's where the water comes from, and this year snowpack came in at much less than normal. Even though we got close to normal precipitation, this means a lot of that moisture fell as rain instead of snow. And rain doesn't stick around. It doesn't store the same way snow does. Snow melts slowly. It feeds reservoirs over time. Rain runs off quickly. And that difference matters more than most people think. So, what does that mean for you? Short term, nothing dramatic. You're not going to suddenly see major changes overnight. We are seeing some limitations in water, but long-term water growth and development in Utah are all connected. And winters like this are exactly what people start paying attention to. Builders, cities, buyers, investors, because when you're thinking about buying a home, especially long term, you're not just buying the property, you're buying into the future of that area. And things like infrastructure, water, and sustainability quietly play a role in that. The biggest takeaway, your experience in Utah depends on heavily where you live. You can be in a neighborhood with almost no snow, drive 30 minutes, and be in a full winter condition. That's normal here. 2026 just made that contrast way more obvious, and that's why two people can move to Utah and have completely different experiences, even if they live relatively close to each other. So when people ask, what are Utah winters like? The honest answer is it depends. Elevation, location, and honestly, the specific year. This is exactly why choosing the right area matters so much when you're moving here, because it's not just about the house, it's about how that location fits your lifestyle year around. If you're thinking about moving here, or even just trying to figure out what area fits your lifestyle best, that's the kind of stuff you want to know right up front, because two neighborhoods can feel completely different in the winter. If you're relocating, don't forget to comment relocation down below, and I'll send you my relocation guide. And again, whether you already live here or you're thinking about making a move, I'd love to help you. I do have time for you, so feel free to reach out or give me a call at any time. Talk to you soon.